To all of my German friends, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate that you watch my videos. You are awesome people. Thank you very much. But now time is to react to 8 underrated things about Germany. Let's go.
Okay, everyone knows about the things Germany is famous for being good at. Germany has great beer. Germany has great cars.
Yes.
Germany is really good at soccer, or they used to be.
Bro. It's called football, okay? We don't call soccer. We don't have soccer. We have football in Europe.
But in this video, I'm going to talk about things about life in Germany that I think are underappreciated or underrated. So without further ado, let's get into it. The absolute vastness and rich history that is just commonplace in day-to-day life here in Germany. Right now I'm sitting on the steps of a church that's from the 12th century. And I feel like people that are from Germany really sort of take this for granted. And even I started to take it for granted after living here for a few years. I remember when I first came here, I was just awestruck by how old some of these buildings were and how much history there was on the things that I was walking around on. But you do get used to it. And it's only once I started to read some Ken Follett books like The Pillars of the Earth, which is about the making of a cathedral, that I really started to reappreciate just how crazy it is that there's this insane history all around us. This behind me here, the Kloster Kronberg, which is a former monastery, originated in 1078. It's over 1,000 years ago.
In Latvia, we have at least 5 cathedrals from the different era of German rule, and we have Livonian castles, Teutonic castles, you name it. But unfortunately for me, I already don't appreciate it too much because I see it from childhood. This is not new for me. I would love to see it from the tourist eyes, you know.
And I feel like it's kind of taken for granted for and pretty underrated here in Germany. This culture of when people buy a home, they buy a home for life. In the United States, I feel like there's this culture and attitude of people buying starter homes, which is a home that you're buying that you know you're not going to live in forever, that maybe you're actually going to only live in it for a couple of years.
Have everybody heard about starter home? What is this like? In Latvia, if you buy home, you buy home. It's your home because not everybody can afford it. I don't know how it's in Germany.
Whereas I feel like the idea of a starter home doesn't really, generally speaking, exist in Germany. When people are building or buying a house, they have the attitude and mindset that this is going to be my home for life.
Yeah,
and I feel like the American mentality when it comes to home ownership is very stressful, and it kind of is a nice metaphor for American culture as a whole. It's always about
11.4 times? What? You kidding me? This is crazy, man. Like, okay, this comes from a person who is, I moved like, what, around 8 times in my life, something like, at least 8 times for sure, so I'm not far from this number, okay, I take it back. Sorry, Americans, sorry.
It's always about, okay, leveling up, okay, what's next, leveling up, which I think is a very American mentality in a lot of aspects of life. So I feel like this mentality of this house being a home for life gives a person a sense of peace and security, whereas the American mentality when it comes to homes often is sort of a stressful one and one of anxiety and always leveling up and not settling and finding peace. So I think this idea and mentality that Germans have when it comes to homes is very underrated.
Maybe.
Behind China, Russia, and Brazil, Germany has the most neighboring countries bordering it in the world.
Oh my goodness gracious, how much? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries. You are neighbor with 8 countries. My gosh, this is so nice. For example, one day I think, okay, today I want to go to Netherlands, to Dutch. I go to Netherlands. Oh, today I want to go to Poland, let's say to Krakow. And I go, but Krakow is a bit farther away. I want to go to France, to Paris. This is so amazing for, let's say, a weekend trip. That would be awesome. And also, you guys are in the middle of the Europe. This is the big benefit, basically.
Something to be overlooked. United States, we border Mexico and Canada. We do not have such close and easy access to other cultures. The fact that people grew up in Germany, in the heart of Europe, with access to 9 different countries on its border is really an incredible thing. Being able to drive 2 hours and be in France, drive 1 hour and be in Switzerland, or go east and drive and be in the Czech Republic, or up north to Denmark, it's a really valuable thing. I was just talking to a former teammate of mine on the Unicorns, and he talked about how, yeah, the first time he left Germany to go to a different country was probably before he could walk, and he'd been going to different countries in Europe that spoke different languages all growing up. The first time I went to a country that spoke a different language than mine was when I came to Germany in 2016.
Yeah, but you see, there's a problem with America. America is bigger than Europe, if I'm not wrong, and every state is just huge. And America is like different universe, basically. Europe is different universe. Asia is different universe. So, of course, for him, it's going to be cultural shock when he comes here. But talking about borders, in Latvia, we have Belarus as a border, Lithuania, Estonia, and Russia, basically. And to drive to Germany with the car, it takes around around 12 hours, maybe even more, non-stop driving.
This is totally underappreciated by people that live in Germany and grew up with this. Very underrated.
Now the next point, oh, sorry, one sec, my brother's FaceTiming me.
The diversity of both the humans and the geography in Germany. This is a very underrated aspect of the country. When I first came to Germany, I just thought, oh yeah, German people, they're all the same. They're the same in the north, they're the same in the south. Germans are Germans are Germans. Now after living here, I am shocked that this is one country. Look at the map of the Holy Roman Empire. That is the diversity of different people and culture in Germany. It is still very alive and present today.
That's super
I would honestly say that people in the southern Bavaria are much more culturally close to Austrians than they are culturally close to people up way far in the north of Germany. And I'd say these northern Germans that are way up near the border of Denmark, they're closer to Danes.
Latvians, yes. We have Latvian-speaking Latvians and Russian-speaking Latvians. Third kind. Russian Latvian speaking Latvians, they have either a parent who is Latvian and another parent who is Russian, and they have this mix in the family. So we at least speak 2 languages minimum in this country.
Of culture. And so I feel like just this line that's drawn around Germany as the border for Germans is almost arbitrary, and there's just a wild range of diversity when it comes to people and cultures in Germany. Germans are very different across the country. And in going with that, there's also a diversity of landscape and geography that I think doesn't get talked about. When people speak of Germany, everyone just thinks, oh yeah, Germany looked the same all over. No, you go to southern Germany, you've got the mountains, the Alps. You go to the southwest, you've got the Black Forest. You go up to the north, you've got the ocean, you've got different beaches, you've got like the islands, silt.
And the dude even doesn't know that Germany has volcanoes. And the dude even doesn't know that Germany has a place that in the winter it's minus 49 because it's in the valley, and inside the valley the cold air storage is, and it's somewhere in Bavaria over there, man. He doesn't even know that. And he says, tell somebody, please, this dude about the volcanoes, okay?
And then you go over.
Also, I have a reaction on this video. You can find it somewhere here.
Into the east, and you've got what they called Saxon Switzerland, which is basically this different type of landscape geography, rocky climbing areas. In the west, again, to the Rhine River Valley. I mean, there's just different types of landscapes and geography all over Germany, and it's got a wide array of landscapes that I think is very underrated.
That's awesome. The country isn't boring.
How walkable.
Country is very fun, I would say, because there's different people, different landscapes, different things to do. Culture is different in different parts of Germany, like literally culture, and it's so nice. I love it. I really love it because the life is more interesting because of that when you live in this kind of country.
Germany is. And not just small towns here like Schwäbisch Hall, but also even some of the bigger cities, like even Stuttgart is so much more walkable than cities in the United States. And this is just
no doubt
a natural
about
thing
that.
for people that grew up in Germany. Of course, yeah, the city is made for people, human beings, to walk around, not for cars. But I feel like it's a very underrated thing because it's just so normal. So how walkable cities, towns, and villages are.
Yes, but let's not compare those cities that he works through. Stuttgart probably is at least 800-900 years old, yeah, and this is a basically medieval town.
It's very underrated. So in Germany, when there is standstill traffic on the Autobahn, all of the cars move off to the sides and create an alleyway in the middle of the road. This is known as a Rettungsgasse, which literally translates to rescue alley. And it's so that emergency vehicles can still get through easily and quickly when there's standstill parking lot style traffic. Now, of course, in these situations when there's such bad traffic, nobody's in a good mood. Nobody's happy about that. But everybody knows and buys into this idea like, hey, I'm annoyed, it's horrible traffic, but I'm going to move off to the side and we're going to create this lane in the middle for emergency vehicles to take care of people if that needs to happen. We're not taught to do this in the United States, and I feel like it's underrated.
Seriously?
That people do this all the time without.
How is that possible? In the United States, they don't do it? In Latvia, we have pretty similar thing when sirens and emergency car is driving. Everybody just splits apart and we just let them drive. So maybe this is overall European thing, you know.
Yesterday I was on a walk and I saw a
Kids
group
don't need
of
leashes.
4 really
Because kids in America are dogs.
young
Just kidding. No offense to the kids.
They were maybe 3-4 years old. And they were out riding little bikes and walking with each other. And I was waiting for a parent to come around the corner because obviously kids this young are not out riding their bikes
Toddlers.
and walking on their own. And I waited and then I realized there was no parent or adult with them. These are just 4 young little kids out enjoying the town, and it is totally normal and totally safe. This is something that you just really would not see in the United States, and to my American brain it is still very shocking to just see young children roaming about on their own. I feel like this is an underrated aspect of life in Germany, that this is just able to be a totally normal and safe thing.
Okay, so it's safe for kids. I have seen some leashes here in Latvia. What do you think about leashes, guys? Do you would like to put your kid on a leash, let's say in public place, your toddler? Because toddlers are like so random, they can make so crazy things. I know, I've been a lot around toddlers, and yeah, I mean, I don't like leashes, but maybe I would put one on my kid.
In Germany, you cannot drive a car until you're 18, but you can drink beer at 16.
What?
In the United States, you can drive a car at
16?
But you can't drink beer until you're 21.
Why?
It's very underrated that Germans do it this way.
Why I have not been born in Germany? God damn! 16 years of age, I would get smashed all the time. Man, but I wonder why is allowed in Germany to drink beer from 16? This is alcohol, you know, kids gonna get drunk and do crazy stuff.
Dad worked in insurance for a long time, and so he knew the statistics about young drivers getting in accidents. All of us young kids getting our driver's license at 16, he knew there was a very high percentage chance that we would get in an accident in the first 12 months of having a driver's license at this age. And lo and behold, all 6 Alfieri kids got in some sort of accident at different levels.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Within the first year of having the driver's license. Now, I don't know the German statistics off the top of my head, but I'm assuming that a smaller percentage of drivers in Germany get in an accident in the first year of having your license, just simply because your brain is slightly more developed at 18.
Slightly more developed, but there is a big problem with 18-year-olds. They are sitting in their mobile phones while driving. They have very small span of attention, the new generation. And because of that, there's a lot of accidents happening. And I'm not sure if there's super big difference between 16 and 18. Like there is. But how big, I'm not sure.
It is at 16. driving a car is much more dangerous and such a greater responsibility
Agree,
than
absolutely.
having a beer. And I feel like in the United States, we have it a little bit mixed up. We think driving a car is safer than drinking a beer. So I'm really a fan of how Germany handles these two topics at these different ages, and I think it's a very underrated aspect of life in Germany. German infrastructure. Germany is commonly ranked as the #1 country in the world when it comes to infrastructure. I'll just tell you, driving on the roads in Germany is a very pleasurable experience. Driving on the Autobahn is great. Hardly ever any potholes. The roads are in pristine conditions. And I actually really noticed this even more when I was driving out to Cody and Speedy's house the other day. They live outside of Schwäbisch Hall, and you have to drive on a bunch of back roads to get there. Not prime roads that are, taken care of all the time and have construction all the time. And even these back roads are just pristine. I will say German construction seems to take quite a long time. There are a few construction projects here around Schwäbisch Hall that they've been working on my entire time here and seem to have made little to no progress. However, when they do finish projects in Germany, they do it well and they do it to last.
Listen, I love it because in Latvia there was a big problem with the roads. Basically, we paid the taxes, yeah, and because of it, they paid the taxes. We think we are like paying for good roads. In Riga, roads are terrible, terrible. And at least for last year, they finally start repairing roads. But before that, there was bigger chance to get in a car accident with a pothole on the road than with a car. Imagine this, man. That was crazy, man.
I think if you want to really appreciate German roads and German infrastructure, leave the country and go drive on some other ones. I feel like if you grew up in this system, this is just what you know and this is the standard. So even though it is literally ranked #1 in infrastructure, I feel like people do not really appreciate that. It's undervalued, and therefore it makes my list of underrated things about life in Germany.
Which is your favorite underrated thing from this list, and which one would you add? Because mine was for sure, which was about the buildings. Yes, that we live in a beautiful cities, the cities that are old, and we don't appreciate them so much because we live in these cities from childhood already, and sometimes it's nice to look at these cities from eyes of other people who never been in this in the city you live in. So that's my top underrated thing. Yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great evening. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and see you next reaction video.